All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow, and remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I got a very special guest for you. Give you a couple of words about my guest. Financial, longevity, technology, business, all the way from the ATL. That's Atlanta for those of y'all who don't really understand. Atlanta, Georgia, okay? But all the way from the ATL, y'all give it up for Darbi. What's going on?
Hey, Ty, how are you?
I'm good. You know what? No, Darbi, sometimes you got to talk to the people because sometimes the people don't really what's ATL? I don't know. Atlanta. Okay, she's in Atlanta, people. Okay? All right, thank you. So I am glad to have you on the show.
I'm glad to be here. Definitely glad to be here.
Man, look here. Now, one word I should have mentioned that, I didn't mention is economics, but we're here to talk about mainly economics, okay? Mm-hmm. But I want to talk about something you got going on here called the BCA culture. Can you inform the, audience out here what that is?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are a Black-owned, female-owned fintech company, financial and technology. So we are like a software company. We teach business owners how to, get funding for their businesses and how to grow and expand their businesses. We literally take business owners from just ideas and concepts to legacy businesses, to where you can really take your business and pass it to your children and their children's children and really build legacy businesses. So we encompass that inside of our software, and it's a step-by-step software. The software is automated. However, as business owners, you still have to do the work and, and complete the steps in order to get the end results. So that's what we do. We're a fintech company. We're in software. We're in the financial industry.
Okay, so wait a minute now. All right, now, you just hit me with a whole bunch of stuff right here, okay? All right, now, you just can't be hitting me with all that and then gonna be like, okay, yeah. No. Let's slow this down. Let's bring it on back, okay? Because I don't think y'all really heard what she just put down right here, all right? Mm-hmm. Oh, man, female think tank, correct?
So it's a combination. We're female owned, okay. Majority owned, and it's female minority owned fintech company.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're in the fintech space, which is they call it's financial and technology, but they just combine the words and when they say fintech. So think of Silicon Valley, think of that, those tech companies that are there. That's what we are wanting to do for minority business owners, for anyone. We create a culture of entrepreneurs. So we want to do that literally for anyone, but we're just minority owned. We're a minority owned business.
Okay. So, no, still, you know what I'm saying? You're providing people with a vision and you're talking about legacy businesses. Okay. Yes. Now that I know I heard for sure. Okay. So, but that is something, let's just really talk about it for a second. That's something we don't really talk about or hit on enough, okay? So, Perfect example, when you talk about people who own farms and land and how that land got lost, well, if nobody else in the family saw value in the land, why should I take care of it,
Exactly.
So you're out here, you're getting people to really put their ideas down on paper and really present it in a way, well, hey, after I'm gone, even my children will be living off this, and it won't be anything whereas they're selling it off or they're doing this, that, and the other, because it basically provides them a plan for their future and the future after them. So, man, look here, y'all better stop. Man, look here, I'm trying to tell y'all people, it's innovative, okay? If you can't see it, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So now let's talk about these big companies now, hey, we've been dealing with this pandemic, everything's been out of whack. You have the government bailing out some of these big companies, and now you have these big companies that are so-called, supposed to be pouring back into these small minority companies, okay? Mm-hmm. So, man, how can these smaller companies prepare themselves for the next wave going on, STEMI checks and everything else going on out there? How can they prepare themselves for the next wave? Because let's just really be real about this, Corona is not going anywhere, and we really have to figure out a new game plan now.
Yep.
Because I'm sorry to say, what was good in 2019 ain't good in 2021 right now.
No, okay. You're absolutely right. And I like how you said it. It's like such a short time frame. You got to think like, first of all, I was reading an article today about business owners complaining that their employees are not coming back to work. I'm sure you probably heard about that, right?
Yes, of course.
So it's like, our economy has changed. We're in a complete gig economy. So even as employers, and this is something to keep in mind as business owners, even you have to evolve as business owners. You have to evolve in the way that you're thinking about employees, because the game has changed. And when the game changes to this particular magnitude, to where the government is funding small businesses with less than 500 employees, the government is putting out, funding and backing it up and guaranteeing these loans. This is big business. And one of the things that we as business owners have to do is just stay prepared and get ready. So to answer your question, one of the first questions that you asked is, what can people do to get in position? Yes. And that's one, make a decision. That's, you know what I mean? Like, you have to make a decision that you want to run a professional business. Because a lot of times we have an idea, but you got to get out of that hustle mentality and really operate at a level where you might see systems. I'm not saying that always their customer service is excellent, but you can look at, look at big companies and study them. Big companies like Walmart, big companies like Amazon, big companies like Microsoft, Google. I mean, there's something that they're doing that allowed them to go from their garages to building multi-billion-dollar and sometimes trillion-dollar brands. And there's something that they're doing that's not known to 97 or 98% of the population. And if you look, most people, Ty, want to hustle. Most people are like, I just got to get this and I got to get this.
Yep.
That's good to be on your grind. You're going to always be on your grind in the beginning. But there comes a point when you have to learn how to multiply yourself through other people, maybe contractors, employees. I know ironically right now, people don't want to work because, like you said, people are getting access to the STEMI checks. People are getting access to the PPP. People are getting access to the EIDL. So they're like, wait a minute. Why would I work for you when I'm getting paid what I would get paid all year?
More not working than some people are getting paid working.
Working, exactly.
Period. And I mean, if you really want to break it down and look, I've heard working people say, well, hey, at least I got insurance. Hospitals ain't taking you right now. So, like I said, man, I'm getting paid and you're not. So look, you hit on something that I've been trying to talk about for a minute, and it's like the generational gap. Okay. So I'm just going to put it out there. I'm almost 50. Okay. I'm not, man, I ain't there yet. You know what I'm saying?
You look good, brother.
There you go. Thank you.
You look good, brother.
You know what? That's why she didn't show y'all. All right. But I try to talk about, the generational gap. And as I just said, man, if you got 2019 thinking in 2021, I don't know what to tell you. You're lost. And everything in that field is lost. You have to revolutionize everything from, that you thought you knew into something totally, new. And everybody's not, subject to go through change. So one of the things I talk about is how you can pull back and actually learn from the younger generation right now, because as you said, man, we're living in a time now where it's more tech heavy. Okay, than anything. Even now, as we sit here and talk, we're on Zoom.
Right.
Schools are Zooming. You know what I'm saying? We're not living in the day and age. Like I said, 2019 was in 2019.
Right.
If you're still thinking about 2019 in the almost summer of 2021, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, it's like being like a 90s lover of hip hop stuck in like, year 2030. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to listen to 90s hip hop. Well, brother, you need to take the time machine back to 1990 and you can get everything you want. But this is what it is here, So figure out a way to bridge the two so you can have longevity and better understanding. Man, look here.
we seeing eye to eye. We seeing eye to eye.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? And these are the kind of conversations we have to have in particularly our communities. Mm-hmm. We have to have these with our children. You know what I'm saying? We have to have these with our parents. Especially like the sandwich generation. You're right there between maybe your kids still living at home with you, and then you also are a caretaker for your parents. Yep. So it's like we need to have that gap where everybody's on one accord. I mean, the Asian communities do it. Yeah. When I say that, I know we hear that a lot, but they do it collectively. And I just hope that it could be a cultural thing that we just interject within our culture to where we start looking out for each other generationally. Wouldn't it make it much easier or much simpler if, imagine you have a grandparent, your grandparents owned a home, it's paid off. You don't have to pay any mortgage overhead. Your parents didn't have to pay any mortgage or overhead because their parents purchased a home that's paid off. You grew up in a home where your parents are not working for money to pay bills, but they're working, and now they can spend a little bit more time with you. We won't have so much latchkey. See, that long-term generational thinking, like down south, my family has a lot of land, and my grandparents' home, there is no mortgage on it, So you think of that span of eliminating the mortgage, that's most people paying money to live.
True.
You know what I mean? So if we eliminate some of these large overheads, or maybe if we say, you know what, let's drive a used car until we can get our assets working for us. We don't have to always be flexing. Maybe we could flex in a different way,
Darbi. I like my Mercedes E-Class now. Gotta be white with the peanut butter interior. Okay, smooth.
And it's okay. It's okay. I'm not saying don't get them at all. But when
I don't want that Kia from like 2015. I want this 2021.
What I'm saying though, but check this out though. But it's nothing wrong with that. You can have a Bugatti and still build wealth. You can drive a Honda and still build wealth. It's up to your preference. Like some people are flashy with their money. Others prefer to be more, quiet. It just depends on what you want to do. But please don't drive a Mercedes. And you definitely, we want to be building assets, right? Please don't think that you have to get that to impress people that don't even really care. Everyone is doing their own thing. Like right now, it's so easy to flex because there's so much money flowing. But why not invest and focus in on acquiring real estate, improving your business, investing into assets, looking into cryptocurrency, educating yourself on a skill set that you can leverage and even use those skill sets in your business.
Okay, so you just hit on something about cryptocurrency, which is going to be the new wave. I'm telling you now, ladies and gentlemen, if you aren't up on, I'm not going to say if you aren't up, you just educate yourself to learn about the new wave of economy and different ways to get money within that economy itself. So to your whole point, I've been hearing about Forex trading and this, that, and the other, and I was like, man, I'm not getting up. Whatever dudes. People hitting you up on Facebook, all that. Hey, Forex. I'm like,
right.
No. So, case in point, had a friend about 10 years younger. Man, hit me up. Hey, man, we were just having a conversation. And he was like, have you ever heard about Forex trading? I was like, dude, I heard about this, that, and other, blah, 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 blah. But a skeptic like myself got turned on to it, started making some money and started seeing, like, he was like, no, dude, there's more to it. And he showed me some things. Now I'm like, okay, that's something I want to get into. But like I said, generational gap. Because some of us are just in the mindset of, no, I have to go out here and work this 9 to 5 and, you know, provide for my family, which, hey, look, let me just say this. If you're out there doing it, man, I am not knocking that, man. Do what you got to do, provide for your family. Get it how you get it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, in this day and age, the game is so much different. And if you have to find a way to apply yourself to the game. And I like the fact that you all are helping people apply themselves to the game long term, even to the point where even when they step out, their children can step in and they can just continue the game and they can build their own, hopefully, you know.
Right. I love it.
Okay, all right. So now, how can people get in contact with you? Like, if people want to, like, you know, find your services or things like that, how can people get in contact?
So we have our website. You can go to www.bcaculture.com, and we're on Facebook as BCA Culture. You can join our Facebook group. We have a Facebook group called BCA Culture Community. We're on Instagram is at BCA Culture Live, and then on all other platforms is at BCA Culture. So if you type in or Google, even if you just Google BCA Culture, then you'll be able to find it's right there. We're right there. You can read about us. We're getting ready to expand and change some things and upgrade our look and our, you know, design and feel of our website. So we're excited about that part. But we're here. We're here. If you just type in BCA Culture on Google, you're going to be able to find us.
Okay, all right. So now, you just said you're about to upgrade the website and things of that nature. But any other things you got coming up? Any forums? Any speaking, you know, engagements or what have you that people should be looking out for?
Yeah. So we have a conference on June 9th. It's on Wednesday from 6 to 9 p.m. We're doing a Freedom Over Fear conference. And with that conference, we're really going to be diving into financial literacy, funding, how to get your business positioned for funding. What does funding mean in 2021 versus, like you were saying, in 2019? We're also going to be having Mike Anthony Childs, Chris Childs. They are awesome men in marketing and in network marketing. They come from a strong background in sales. We have Michael Anthony Bell. He's going to be speaking as well along the marketing aspect. Nikita Berrien, myself. It's just going to be a really awesome conference that really propels and begins to stretch your mind. So the topics there, it'll be in the evening. It's virtual, but definitely go to bcaculture.com, register. The tickets are only $20.21 in honor of 2021. And you know, we're doing that. We got early bird registration going on now, and we're looking forward to having a really, really good conference.
BCAculture.com.
Yes.
BCAculture.com. BCAculture.com. Ladies and gentlemen, go register June 9th.
Yep.
Get in the game. I'm telling you now.
Now.
I'm sorry, that's how you have to talk to people. They probably doing something else, but you know, you got to talk to them like that. But I love it. I love it. And let me just say this, you know, they talk about, you know, the Great Migration, you know, how back in the day, everybody left the South for better opportunities in the North, West, East, what have you. And, you know, I always talk about the Black Exodus, which one really talks about after the Great Migration, when everybody left, and what really happened to the South after that, you know, and how people depended on the South to provide like land and all these goods from the land. Well, when there's nobody there, who gonna really do that? You know what I'm saying? So, which also tied into the struggle between, you know, those who figured they were doing much better leaving a situation versus the people who were still left in the situation, and how sometimes egos can clash, you know, like, oh man, what are you doing? You not living like da-da-da-da-da? Well, I have nothing here.
Wow.
So basically I say all that to say, I love it how, like, every time I do an interview and I'm speaking to someone from the South, especially in the ATL area, and especially in like Virginia, especially in DC, you know, like pretty much all along that, like, you know, Southeast coast.
Oh, right.
Man, like that's just like the resurgence to me, because it's like, now, okay, now you all understand you got to come back home now to build and get out of these places where, I'm not saying they're not going to be, you know, providing anything for you, but I just like it, as you said, man, we need to have more conversation about these cooperative economics, how to build, you know. So, man, programs like yours, BCAculture.com. Okay, man, programs like that, which will help people like develop the plan, and not only develop the plan, develop it, execute it, and man, make it thrive. So not only that they can, you know, thrive off of it, but it's generational.
Right.
Man,
I love it.
I love it.
Now, when you're talking about the Black Exodus, can you dive into that a little bit?
All right, I'm gonna dive just a little bit into the Black Exodus. So the Black Exodus, as it's called, like, it happened right after the Great Migration, you know. So I can't depict the years right now or so, but basically, you know, for those people who left for a better life, you know, or what they thought they would be getting in a better life, they pretty much left the South in ruins. Mm-hmm. You know, okay, you all are free, you know, like, you don't have to pick cotton, you don't have to do this. So they say, you know, they were still down there, you know, doing it or whatever. But just think, you went from maybe like 50,000 down to like 20,000, from 20,000 to like 10,000. Now you have like 5,000.
Wow.
You know, who's really going to run the land? Who's really going to tend to the land? You had a lot of Black farm owners losing their land.
Yeah.
Which like sort of paved the way for what we have now. You know, so that's why I made the, you know, reference to like, hey, why do people lose the farm? Because they don't have any interest. They don't find any interest in it. Mm-hmm. You got to think about this now, man. You grew up on this farm. They sent you off to learn and go to school. So once you get this education, now what are you going to do? You're really going to come back and share with the people? No, you living in a different area. You're going to develop and set up shop there.
That's a good point.
So that's what it was. People didn't come back to reinvest in the South after they left the South. So they left the South in ruin. You
know, it's interesting that you said that. It's definitely a cultural shift, because you think about it now, even when we as a people begin to elevate, mm-hmm. right? How many people really go back to our communities? I mean, and invest back into the community that's made it. I'm not going to call out any names or say anybody, but you get what I'm saying. How many people, when they make it, you know what I mean, really go back and give into the community? Like, I went to a white private institution. I mean, not a private institution, but a majority white University of Tennessee. In Knoxville. You know, yeah, UK. So it's like, but their alumni association, the way that people just give back, and that's just in a college. How many are doing that with Black colleges? I mean, you know, thank God for Bill and Bill and Camilla Cosby and
wait a minute. Them, and I'm gonna big up Jeff Bezos' wife, whatever your name is.
Yes,
Bezos, man, you gave that up, man. I ain't gonna front. Hey.
I mean, and Oprah has contributed.
Yes.
You know, but it's like, when can we collectively, right? We don't have to. I think a lot of times, you just said something about the Black Exodus, that a lot of times we think that we have to be at 8 figures or 9 figures or 7 figures or 6 figures to give back. But maybe we can go volunteer in our communities. Maybe you can go to the Boys and Girls Club, the youth center, like legacy. Like, when you're starting a business, most people really want, at the end of the day, this is what I've learned, and we work with thousands of customers, and we see it over and over and over again. Most people want freedom.
Financial freedom. That's all it is. Hey, look. So let me just tell you, I work with youth, okay? And I work with Black youth, and Black youth, okay?
Right.
I'm gonna keep this real. Whoever listening, if you feel a certain way about it, you just feel a certain way about it. But you know I'm right when I say this. Mm-hmm. I'll always say this, you know, and this is just to keep their mind sharp. whenever you run into a person who is not you, meaning your color, or even a person that is your color that you suspect to be on the other side, always ask this question: which is more important, equity or reparation? And depending on the answer, lets you know whether or not you're going to continue this conversation or you keep it pushing.
Yeah. No, you're right.
At the end of the day, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I break it down to them even on like the smallest fronts. You know, I'm like, look, y'all like to smoke weed, right? Yeah, okay. Man, you go to a dispensary, anybody in there that look like you?
Man, you better say that.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. I take that back. That's not the security. I mean, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. The only person in there that looks like you is the person taking your ID, B.
Man, and even in that isn't psychology. That's why we really have to pay attention. But then the men who are imprisoned and who are in jail are majority Black for the same thing that now is becoming legal. So it's like, get you some stock. See, this gets back to what we were saying though, right?
Come on now, come on, let's talk about it.
Get you some weed stocks. Get you some land so you can actually just, supply it. I mean, like, if you're gonna do it, do it. Don't just smoke it and let it be a liability where you're not making any money from it. Okay, yeah, it might open up your mind. Yeah, it might make you feel a certain way. Everybody has different reasons for why they do what they do, but invest. I mean, look at Nas.
Look, I'm gonna say this. Any Black billionaire or millionaire, whatever, any like Black investor listening to this right now, I'm gonna tell you what we really need. We need distribution companies. At the end of the day, I have
in every industry, in every industry.
If we can get one to be the umbrella for all that, great. But I'm gonna tell you, I've talked to female entrepreneurs. She just founded the only female Black-owned wine company in Charlotte. Talking to a female Black brewmaster, you know what I'm saying, up in like Connecticut or somewhere up in the Northeast, But the main thing they were talking about, because I was like, well, man, how can we really get this? You can only get it in an area. Distribution center, will get it from, the Midwest to the West, to the Southeast, to the South, wherever you want to get it to. That's why we need things like that. So that's why I always ask at the end of the day, which one is more important?
Wow.
Or reparations? Because I ain't never seen, look here, I don't know of one Black that owns their own field that grows the weed.
Wow. And we gotta have the equity. I mean, the equity is long term. When you think of reparations, you're looking back, right? You're trying to get repaid for unjust situations. It's like we have to get out of that. We got to get out of that stuck mode. We got to get into ownership. We got to get into legacy. We got to get into building generational wealth. We got to close those gaps. Yeah. People that will argue, well, we need reparations. We need reparations. What you gonna do with it though once you get it? You still want ownership. So even if you do want reparations, eventually you want to turn that into equity.
It's a slippery slope. Man, look here, look. We can have church all night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm loving this conversation. Look here, this is probably one of the, this has been a real conversation, okay?
Yes.
At the end of the day, we're talking about Black economics and building on that. But in order to build on that, you got to know your history, okay? Yeah. It's just like music. Don't think just because you listen to a song on the radio, if you really take time to know the history of music, then you'll know why people say certain things about certain songs. Why like certain music is considered timeless versus other certain music that was like a one-hit wonder that year. So it's about the culture, taking the time. Darbi, look here. We vibe, okay? I mean, I don't know about you, but
we definitely are. And I wanted to say something with that because it crossed my mind. One of the last speeches that Martin Luther King Jr., right before he was assassinated, that he talked about was reparations. So all I'm saying is they go hand in hand. Because I know we might have some I want to respect everyone's perspective, because we do have some people that's like, no, we need to get paid, just like the Native Americans got paid, just like such, you know, we do need to get paid. I'm not saying that we don't, but I'm saying don't depend on it. Don't wait for it. In the meantime, work on your equity. That's all I'm saying. Because again, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. talked about reparations. How long has it been since that? So in the meantime, one of the things that I've seen that's broken generational gaps the fastest and has bridged the wealth gap is us building our own and us having equity. I love what you said. We need to have distribution centers. We got to have distribution centers, and they got to be Black owned. I mean, if you look at Marcus Garvey, if you look at, if you just study, you know, like you said, if you study our history, you know how great and powerful we are. Every time we start something, I mean, it grows. It's not that we don't know how to work together. It's just that when we do, there's always an infiltration of that. We need allies. We need protectors. Even in the midst of us working together as a community, we're okay. Now someone won't come and do a massacre in our community. You know, now someone won't come and shoot, or now poverty won't strike an area so bad that, you know, it's high crime there. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is, I mean, if we really break it down, it's the psychology of areas and zones that can cause the people to do what they're doing in those particular areas.
Darbi, look. Whoop! That's a conversation for a whole nother show called We the Black Kids in the White School. Okay, man, I have a whole nother show for that called We the Black Kids in the White School. You don't have to say that for We the Black Kids in the White School. Okay, all right, cause man, look. Darbi.
Yeah, you see, so that's why we were like, yo, that's why BCA culture it's about a culture of entrepreneurs. It's about group economics. It's about us coming together, understanding our past, learning from it, being wise, using those experiences so we can propel forward and, you know, emulate. You know, yeah, we want ownership. We really want control.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
We want ownership, but we really want control. See, there's levels to that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all didn't know we were going to be getting this conversation tonight.
You know, we want it, but we really want control. See, when you can control that, nobody can infiltrate it. We as a people have not necessarily had the right bearings, no strong, solid foundation. You know, so it gets back to what you were saying about the Black Exodus, the slavery, the mentality, all of these things. And every time we excel from nothing. So even if you're a business owner, you're listening to this or you're watching this, like, just know that even if you're looking at this thing right now, dang, I want ownership. You know, I want to do what Ty's doing. I want to be involved with what Darbi's doing. Like, still understand and know that you can start from nothing, because history has shown our people starting from nothing and still built HBCUs, still own the super, you know, great businesses, you know, so it's like you can do it. Like, as entrepreneurs, just know that you can do it. Even if you start at your home, even if you start in your garage, you can do it.
I use myself as an example every time I interview people. You may think I've been doing this for a very long time. I've only been doing this for 2 years, Darbi. I'm gonna tell you how it started. It started with my wife and I. We were at a venue, and my wife is a talk show host. Like,
wow.
She's the reason why I'm doing any of this, okay? But she's like a talk show host. Her platform is way bigger than mine.
Shout out to your wife. First of all, shout out to your queen. You know, it's beautiful.
But no, so man, we're in the venue one day, and you know, we're there for one of her friends, and I'm just looking around this venue, and I'm like, man, you know what? You should consider like filming a show in here one day. She's just like, no, I'm not. No, I would never film anything in here. I'm like, man, it's got the reggae vibe, and you know, like my mind just twists, and she's like, well, maybe you should start your own show and you can have your own show in here or something like that. And I'm like, please, I'll have that over there, have that hooked up, this, that, and the other. And then that just became what you see before you. And like I say, man, sometimes you have to build not only your own table, you got to build your own damn seat so you can be comfortable at that table.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? Good. You better build that seat too while you're building the table. It's like, I mean, the hell you gonna build a table for if you can't sit and utilize it?
Yeah, right? That's good. That's good.
You know, so I mean, man, I built this platform and here it is, and like, these are the type of conversations that I want to have because I know that no one else out here is really having these, you know, on the level I feel they should be having them, you know, and, you know, I love my Black entrepreneurs. I love my Black people talking about economics, you know, finance and everything of that nature, because that's what's needed. And I just think when it comes to that aspect right there, that's a very big aspect that we can't get past, either because of like improper training, lack of knowledge, or just, you know, everybody's own egotistical view on what they think it should be.
Right. No, that's real.
You know, so as you said, you know, man, why do some of these other cultures have, you know, generational wealth that's passed down and just, you know, man, collective, as you said, man, you said the word earlier, collective, a collective effort, you know? So look, before I moved back to Chicago, I was living out in LA, Los Angeles. Like I was living in LA. Okay. So, but this area that I lived in, that was this Asian, you know, set that was literally across the street, gated community and this, that, and the other beautiful building, you know. But sitting out there one day, one of the locals was telling me, oh yeah, you know, that person owns, you know, they own the cleaners, they own the, you know, laundromat, they got a sign shop, they got this, they got that. But I mean, it's all next to each other, you know what I'm saying? So they own this whole property, you know, and I'm gonna keep it real. No Blacks lived in that building, you know, it was barely like a white person in that building. But I'm saying all that to say, it's a collective effort and they put in, because also along with that, from what I've heard stories how, man, you have families that will put up money, you know, together to come over here to live, and they invest in businesses. And once that business takes off, then that family leaves and, you know, they go get their own, but they invest back into the pot so the next family can come up.
Right. That's good. That's good.
So we need to, I mean, I don't know I can't tell you what it's going to take for us to get to that level or what have you. I mean, me personally, I just really think it's just going to have to be, man, eventually it's going to come to the point where there's going to be two Black Americas. You know, there's going to be the Black America that, hey, you know what? We living in 2019. We good. Then you're going to have the new Black America over here like, hey, you know what, man, for real, I see how that's going over there. I don't want to be the Black kid in the white school. I'm good. I'm going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? So, there it is.
It's massive. I mean, it's massive. We're at a pivotal point. Yeah. You know, for everyone that's listening, if you're watching, this is pivotal. Like, first of all, congratulations to you. You know, to you, to your wife, to your family, because that's another portion. Foundation, right? The mentality of legacy stems from having some type of root in a family, you know? So it's like, those are the type of things that, you know, we really, really, really have to come together as a collective and be trained for family, be trained to run businesses, be trained and learn these things. And we can't put that responsibility on entertainers, you know, or other business owners or CEOs. Hey, we're all out here learning as we're going too, man, you know, and being mentor. Right. So, you know, putting expectations on people that we can do ourselves. I mean, you can go to Amazon and buy a book. You can go to Walmart and buy a book. You can pick up listen, you got Google. You got audiobooks that you can listen to, right? You got YouTube. And listen, YouTube University.
Type it in, please.
It's no excuse. To say you don't know is no excuse. So, you know, it's more than enough out here. And I like the fact that you took initiative and say, you know what, go. You were inspired and you took the initiative to go. And for that, this is what it's about. This is what it's about.
I mean, because seriously, like, I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, you know, like with anything that you're like starting off creating or whatever, you know, you're gonna, you know, have its frustrating parts or what have you. But at the end of the day, this is something like, okay, it may come off as a hobby. I don't think of it as a hobby because, man, hobby you can pick up and put down. But like, I like connecting with people who are really, you know, about, you know, the community in other parts of like the country and even the world. Like, man, like, I'm going to create my own CNN, my own MSN, NBC, and all that other good stuff because I can't rely on all that because they're not going to tell me the stories that I really personally at the end of the day want to hear because y'all talking about some other stuff that, I mean, man, like, I'm just not feeling it. Keep it real. I am not feeling that. I am feeling this, you know what I'm saying? I am feeling this when this happens. I am feeling this when I hear about, you know, BCAculture.com. I am, you know, excited when I hear about something like that, you know, that happens and, you know, they putting, you know, things together and they making it happen for other people. That's like giving the vision, you know, to those who didn't have the vision. And that's why my motto is no one is worthless and no story is worthless.
Wow.
Man, mainstream media, man, they ain't gonna, no. Look here, it better have a lot of doom in it and, you know, something. But yeah, this is for us.
Yeah.
By us, really for us, okay?
Yeah.
So, man, look here. Look, we gotta start preaching here, okay? Because, man, I got to get to this last question because me and Darbi gonna sit up and have a conversation all night, man. We are really building, okay? Look, no, seriously, like, man, like, I really thank you for coming on my platform.
Thank you.
Thank you for this conversation because more of this, as you said, needs to happen. More of this needs to be talked about, you know? And, man, the more that comes in and, man, we build our own, keep building. We will have those fields. We will have those distribution centers. We will have those like big financial companies that will develop and, you know, invest back into the community that will make, you know, man, we'll have our own Silicon Valley. You know what I'm saying? For real. In the ATL, in Charlotte, and all these other places, you know, we ain't got to go there, you know? So, man, folks, let's come together. You know what I'm saying? Man,
this is good stuff. This is good.
But on that note, ask this last question because this is the question my show known for. Okay, so man, Darbi, what's the one word that best describes you and why?
I would have to say consistent.
Ooh, okay, consistent.
Why? You know, consistency, it's a law. There's a law of consistency. Okay. We've been able to grow, even business-wise. I've been able to grow personally, and it's rolled over into my life professionally just by being consistently working on and improving myself consistently every day. You know, I've learned that it's not the big chunks that matter. It's the little things that we do every day. So as a result of me learning that, it actually, to some people, like, wow, y'all really blew up or you really grew. But we really grew in small increments that really caused a snowball effect consistently that built, you know, BCA culture or built myself, Darbi, or, you know, has helped, you know, people around me that I've mentored get to the next level is because of consistency. Every single day, I first do something to build myself up, which allows me to be able to deal with people because, you know, you got to think we got thousands of customers and everyone wants to pull on you, right? And so one of the things that I've learned to do is just be consistent in life, be consistent in becoming your best self, be consistent in building your business, be consistent in improving, you know, every single day. So consistency, I've literally become consistent And literally that's what's just been contributing, just the snowball effect to what people would consider success, just being consistent.
Okay. I'm going to add a word to that.
Okay.
Light. I'm going to tell you why light. You just said it. You're consistent. So, man, you have to like go at this every day, man, in order to like, when you have light, you see, right?
Yeah.
So, man, people got to see what it is that you're doing. So if you constantly consistent and man, I got that light on and I'm constantly looking, I'm like, oh, okay, well, damn, she had it again. Oh, damn, she had, okay, all right. So, man, I got, okay. All right, okay, man, you know what? I got to do this now. I got to do this because I got to follow. You know what I'm saying? I have to follow suit, you know? I mean, man, you're consistent. And like you said, small steps lead to bigger and more consistent, positive habits.
Yep.
Positive light. Don't everybody want to be seen in the positive light? You don't want to be seen in the negative light, do you?
Right.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just saying. Okay. Right. All right. I mean, no, but you know, so, you know, in order to be that vision.
That's the word right there. That and light. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. No, you hitting it. You striking it right between the eyes, because they all go hand in hand. In order to be consistent, the light has to be on within you first.
For you to give the vision to the other. Come on now.
You know what?
Okay, now. Stop it now. Stop it now. Look here. I'm about to run off this set now. Okay.
But you know, that's the reality of it. Vision, people perish for the lack of vision. True.
Very true.
That vision keeps you going. It keeps you being consistent. It keeps you, light. And then also, when you said light, I thought of it in dual ways. You got to stay light in order to be the light. Okay, you carrying baggage and drama and gossip and backbiting and hating and jealousy and all of these things, how you gonna be the light? So you can propel the vision. So stay light on your journey so you can stay consistent and just, believe in yourself, believe in the core of who you are, and dig deep and go.
Look here. Woo! We done brought it to y'all today, boy. Look, y'all didn't, man, look, I wasn't expecting it, but I know y'all wasn't expecting it. But we brought it to y'all today, okay? We brought it to you. Look at Darbi, one more time. Tell them one more time where they can find you on social media and all that for those who looking to get in contact with you. Where can they find you one more time?
Absolutely. You can find us on BCAculture.com. We're on all platforms as at BCA Culture. And then on Instagram, we're at BCA Culture Live. You can connect with us on any platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, our website. You can Google us, BCA Culture. There's no excuse. So tap in to what Ty is doing. Tap into BCA Culture. I mean, it's a whole movement of entrepreneurs literally taking their businesses from ideas to building up legacy businesses to obtaining funding to really just breaking breaking down some old thoughts, but building up new thoughts to really build wealth.
Come on now. Okay.
So that's where we're at. So I thank you so much. I thank you so much, Ty, for having me on your show, and just thank you.
Man, look here, I thank you. And this is, look, like I said, this has been great. And you coming back. So don't think this is like the last time you're going to be on this show. You're going to be back at some point. So you're going to get you back here. All right. Because now you family, we didn't have a jam session now. So now, okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Word with Ty Brownlow. Or, man, go to my website, tybrownlow.com. You're going to get this wonderful interview plus other great interviews. Darbi, BCAculture.com. I thank you for being my guest. We out, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.
Thank you. Bye-bye.